everyone, Anita here and welcome to day 21 of the Inktober challenge. We are on the 3-week mark, guys. 3 weeks, it's amazing. I am so extremely proud. And today's picture is actually really on the simple side because I have been inspired by that wooden platform. I don't know how to call it. The wooden platform that I'm using during painting right now, that makes it a bit tilted upwards. I used to use that all the time when I was painting back in the day, like about a year or two ago, because I was doing a lot of flat washes and tilting the picture a little bit would have that, you can see me doing it right now. It creates that little bead at the bottom of the wash, and you basically have to just guide that bead to get the most perfect flat wash ever. And since I painted everything in flat washes, at some point I just realized that, you know, I would need a wooden support that would be easier. My cat is meowing again. But yeah, so I'm basically just doing flat washes in here, and I thought it was also a good opportunity to have a little bit of a talky video. I mean, not like we have anything different on other occasions, but this time I want to address a comment from Alice, who posted, I think it was 2 videos ago. I didn't get the chance to respond to comments yet, that's why... okay, I didn't get the chance to respond to comments yet, and tomorrow, which is today for you guys, because this video is coming out tomorrow, I am actually visiting friends. This is my day off, so I will probably not be doing anything, and so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna address this comment right now. Also because it's something that I hear quite a lot from some of you guys, and while, yeah, normally it doesn't really bother me per se, it's just that I'm concerned for you guys because you guys are so concerned for me, while there is no reason to be concerned. Goodness, there is something happening outside. If you guys can hear that, I'm sorry, you know, it's a Saturday evening right now, so there's just things happening in the background. Never mind that. So Alice posted a really nice comment, and she was concerned that I'm pushing myself too hard, being too hard on myself, and somehow punishing myself. And that kind of... Oh, and I want to mention as well that, Alice, if you're actually listening to this, and to any of you who actually have concerns of this same matter, or any concerns actually, please know that I'm not bashing you in any way, or I'm actually really thankful that you're taking the time to write the comments, and I'm just feeling that in this case there's just no reason to worry, and I'm just gonna tell you why, just for general public. So Alice commented that it seems to her that I am punishing myself somehow by doing so much for the challenge, and just pushing myself so much, and you know, and she mentioned the word masochist, which that's why I was like, oh, okay, perhaps it's time to actually address this issue, because that escalated quickly. And also there were 2 legs on that comment, which means someone actually thought that, you know, this was a matter of concern. So, you know, the point is, there is nothing to worry about. I am not punishing myself in any way. I am not a masochist. Alice also mentioned that perhaps it's something that, you know, I've learned during my childhood, where I didn't learn how to relax properly. And it's the exact opposite. I am the most relaxed person ever. If it was up to me, if it was just like completely up to my relaxed side, I would just lounge on the couch, watching shows, just doing nothing, procrastinating. And so what you are basically seeing here during this channel, the whole point of me constantly nagging about how hard it is on me, this is basically my 2 halves inside of me, just fighting constantly for dominance. The side of me that just feels like, oh my god, this is so tiring. I don't feel like doing it. Is there even a point? I mean, I can't finish it. I will never finish it. What's the point of finishing it? And then there's the other side who knows me better, who knows how I work, and who just tells me, Anita, just get yourself together, just sit down, you're gonna see, you're gonna be done with it in a matter of hour, okay? And while in the beginning, this is a constant fight, by the way, this is not just something during a challenge. The point is that during the challenge, because there's this sequential picture thing going on, I have to make 31 pictures in 1 month. You know, that's a lot. That's a challenge. You know, a challenge is not something that's supposed to be a walk in the park, where you're just like, oh, this is just a piece of cake, I love it, it's so enjoyable. No, a challenge is something where you're actually pushing yourself to do it. And perhaps other artists are, you know, more relaxed with that. They actually maybe enjoy it. And I'm, you know, but I'm not like that. I actually have to really push myself to do stuff. Because for my own good, you know, it's like doing homework. And perhaps it's a weird notion when it comes to art, but just because I enjoy painting doesn't mean that, you know, it's not hard sometimes for me to push myself and continue. But because I am a professional artist and I consider myself a professional artist, art is my profession. I do art for a living. I can't just say, oh, I don't feel like it, I'm just gonna stop. You know, I've decided at the beginning of the month that I'm going to do the videos. And I am making the videos. I am making the art. I have plans with it. I actually had a really cool idea today what to do with the art at the end. And it's really reasonable for me to do. I thought about it a lot, you know, the art book thing, kind of compilation idea. And I finally got the idea. I finally settled on something that I know I can do. Because it's very important to know how much you can handle. And that's another point, you know, it might seem that I've taken too much on myself and much more than I can chew. Is that the proverb? But that's not the case. I know I can do it. I've done it before. And the whole point here is just basically me fighting with myself, with the very lazy, procrastinating self. So as I said, this is exactly the opposite. As a child, I would be just, I did what I wanted. That's why I had a lot of problems in high school, because at some point I didn't want to do something, but I had to. And there was a huge fight about it within me, because why are they telling me that I have to do something? I don't want to. There is no point to it in my head. There is no point to doing that. So why should I do it? But eventually I've learned that if I really want to do something, if I really want to achieve something, I'm going to work really, really hard to get it. And I want to get better at art. Not necessarily fast, because that's impossible, but I am willing to put in the work. I have the time to put in the work, and I am going to put in the work. So I'm not punishing myself, I'm just trying to get better. And another thing, you might have noticed that during this challenge, I have changed a lot of things about my approach on how I make the videos, how I talk, when I paint. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but you're getting the video a day later than before. Because I've decided during the challenge that making the video on the same day was just too much. It was unreasonable, okay? That was punishing myself. But now that I've actually pushed it a day and I can have it rendering during the night, I'm using my phone instead of the big camera, which cuts the time of transferring files, rendering, editing. Everything became much more manageable, and that's, for me, also a very valuable experience, because you come across projects, you know, when you're working, for example, on a book project, you have several big illustrations to make. Of course, you have a certain amount of time for it, but you have to learn how to manage yourself, manage your project, how to, you know, adjust it to your needs. And, you know, Inktober for me is a very good example of that kind of, you know, that kind of challenge, that kind of project. It's a good exercise. So, you know, the more, goodness, sippy. Excuse me. So, yes. So basically, sometimes you're going to need to push yourself, even if it may seem that, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but not everything has to be, you know, sparkles, glitters, and you know, anything. You have to be kind to yourself. That's something I agree with. And there have been times during this challenge when I was really, really struggling, and I was trying to keep on a brave face and just push myself. I was very hyper, and I knew that at some point that would just break because I can't handle too much pressure. And so I knew that eventually I'm just gonna break down. And that happened today. I actually broke down. I started crying because I was like, I can't handle this anymore. I just can't. I'm tired. I want to stop right now. And it actually took, you know, a bit of time, but eventually I cried. My boyfriend comforted me, you know, and it was fine. I cried. I lost, you know, the negative energy. It might seem too much, but I actually really love crying when it comes to like losing stress. I did that since I was a child. I was the one in the house that just burst into crying for anything because, you know, that was the way for me to deal with stress, which is very healthy, I think. You know, you're going to cry a bit, but then you're going to get yourself up and just keep working. I don't know. I don't see anything bad with it. And so, you know, my boyfriend was trying to just kind of help me get through it. He's used to it by now. And we settled that, you know, I got a gift. I got my can of MSC, Mr. Super Clear, instead of, you know, in case you guys are interested. It's a sealant. It's a spray sealant for customizing dolls. It's something that I was missing. I didn't want to really buy for myself because I knew that I would like to use it. But he said to me, you know, it's like, why not buy it? You're going to have it. And when you have a bit of free time after the challenge, you can treat yourself and customize your doll. And I was like, yeah, actually, I can do that. And I was like, oh, okay, there's something to look forward to again. So I'm fine again. And imagine, I just got up, you know, went to work, and everything is fine. And was I hard on myself? No, I don't think so. That's what a challenge is, you know, trying to work through your limitations, I suppose. And I think that's in everything, you know, it's when you want to get better at something, you are not going to spend time doing something else because, you know, you want to get better. Let's say I want to get better at drawing, right? I want to get better at painting. I'm not going to spend time playing video games, which is, you know, one of my hobbies as well. I'm not going to do that. I haven't played games for such a long time already because I am not allowing myself to play. Because I think that's a good decision. Am I missing it? Yeah, a bit. Can I live without it? Definitely yes. I don't feel like it's a huge like I'm missing it, you know, like something that needs to, like, how do I explain this? It's very hard, but basically what I came to, I went on a compromise, and I watch a ton of gameplay videos. I'm just, whenever I paint or do something else, or actually even when I'm at my friend's house, I watch her play while I sketch. Or in this case, she promised me that I can put together her Lego project. Never mind that. But I'm going to watch someone else play, and that for me is a perfect compromise. I actually, just by watching someone else, it's enough. It's enough for me, you know? And I can spend the time that I would normally waste. And yes, I'm going to say it. I would waste it on playing, on gaming. I can put it into improving my artwork. And by that, I don't want to say that gaming is bad or anything. That's absolutely not the case. But whenever something that you do makes you guilty, makes you feel guilty, which it was my case, you shouldn't do it because it means that it's not good for you. For example, I got into gardening in the summer. I just really got excited about gardening. I want to, now in the spring, I'm going to plant my own vegetables in pots and try to grow them. And I would spend hours just in our backyard, you know, planting stuff, cleaning, doing other things. And I didn't feel guilty, not for a second, because it just felt good. It felt relaxing. I felt like I was doing something, I know, productive. It's a weird thing, but even if I wasn't painting, I was still, you know, relaxing, and that was my hobby. So it's just a matter of picking something that doesn't make you feel bad, because I hated the feeling of guilt that I felt when I was gaming. I just hated it, so I didn't do it anymore, you know? And yeah, so also rest assured, I am definitely relaxing a lot, and I'm basically resting a lot besides, you know, this project. It's just that I'm not allowing myself to get into any hobby because doll customizing is something that I want to do right now. I really, really, really want to do it. I have a BGD, it's a ball jointed doll that's laying on, you know, in a box. And I really want to take care of it. I want to paint it. I want to make clothes for it, a wig, whatever. But if I do that, if I allow myself, I'm not the kind of person who just, you know, jumps for an hour into a hobby and then goes back to work. I am going to sit there and I'm going to do it until I'm sick of it, which is probably not going to happen for a long time. So I can do it right now. I just can't allow myself to do it right this moment, but I already have plans that in January, I am going to just go for like a small vacation, and then I'm going to also allow myself to, you know, do some stuff that I wouldn't do. But there are just things right now that I have to do. There's Inktober, I have to fix my Etsy store, I have to set up the Redbubble for prints, I have to think about the art book thingy for Inktober because I'm really excited about it. And it's not something that it's not like I'm thinking, oh no, what a drag, I have to do all these things. I'm actually excited about these things. I wish I had more time in a day so I could do everything. But it's not possible for me, of course, because we have only 24 hours in a day. So, you know, I'm excited about it. And it's not like it's making me miserable thinking about all the stuff I have to make. But yeah, I'm actually really excited. I love the feeling of achieving something. It's so motivating. And so, you know, it's but of course I'm gonna nag. I mean, it's my work. Who doesn't go to work and nag a little bit? Like, oh, work is so hard. I wish it was a weekend. No, I seriously wish I had weekends. I have to set, like, New Year resolution will be for me just kind of keeping to a weekend. Because that is a problem for me. That one thing I'm going to say is that the fact that I'm not keeping a certain schedule where I have at least one day off, where I'm not doing anything art related, that bugs me. Okay, I have to have a day off. And I'm promising here publicly that I am going to fix it, okay? So, we're almost at the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed the footage. I'm sorry I couldn't talk about it a little bit more, but I really felt like I needed to address it, and I hope I didn't, like, you know, it came out properly. I hope that I didn't offend anyone, because that was not my point. I am really thankful that you guys are taking really the time to give me advice, and that you guys care. That is so amazing that people who I've never met actually care about my well-being. So I'm just kind of giving you kind of like a heads up that nothing is happening. This is just me fighting through a challenge, and I am excited about it as much as I am tired, and I'm wishing that it was already done. Okay, and I'm already looking forward to a next project, pretty much. Project, yeah. That was a big talk. But yeah. I don't really know what to say anymore, so let me just tell you that I'm really, really happy with this picture. It's a very, very simple illustration. The whole point of it was pretty much just creating a very dark background and a dark character on that dark background. kind of that wishy-washy thing, but still having all the shapes visible. And then the extra little touch that I was planning from the beginning, where the leaves on the hat and the leaves in the background. That's pretty much the whole focal point of the picture that I wanted to concentrate on. Wow, that's like a 30-second explanation from a 20-minute video. But I still hope that you guys enjoyed it. I remember there will be no video tomorrow, which is Monday, I have to count, yeah, because, you know, I've pushed them one day. So you will get one on Tuesday, and yep, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye!